Episode 160. How many more episodes until the end of A Realm Reborn? Should be pretty close now. Just 2 more episodes of Moogle delivery quests. 4 more quests though, about that much. And then after that, the main story, well, in between that and now, maybe a couple more other things. Still taking it slow. Enjoying whatever is here in this part of Eorzea, before moving on to the big Heaven's Ward expansion. I've been enjoying taking it slow, enjoying the Moogle delivery quests. They kind of take you to all sorts of corners of the realm, not just location-wise, but people-wise. People in corners that just kind of stay in corners. If you've never done the Moogle quests, it just kind of remains static as like shopkeeps or people behind counters or people in fates. And you really get to flesh out the world a little bit. I can see why there's a small but vocal minority that advertise how nice these missions are, at least to some extent. But we're almost done. Speaking of enjoying the little things or whatever, the stars. Never really looked up at the stars, or I guess when I last did this it would have been on my main character learning astrologian or something. Some of these stars are the cards that you can draw, like the actual constellations. I'm not sure if that's one over there, but that looks like the summer triangle, or at least the equivalent to the real life summer triangle, right? Deneb, Altair, and Vega, was it? I only know that because of the lyrics to a song. But I guess they're here in Eorzea, or Etheirys, or whatever. Don't know where the actual constellations for like the Ewer and the Spire are, those 6 cards. It doesn't matter. We're supposed to be doing the Moogle quest now. I always complain about going over on time, but I've been tending to waste time at the beginning of episodes when I don't need to. I guess that's all of the time that I put into the episodes. It's all a waste of time. Whatever. Not to waste time with the professor and his best students, or most prominent, preeminent students. Each of them more preeminent than the last. We'll find out who's the top dog, I think. Knowledge, my dear assistant, is the gift that keeps on giving. I've got letters today for a fellow who embodies that notion, Professor Lambertine, Kupo. He's an authority on Aether, known for his passion and absent-mindedness. I'm sure you've heard of him. Lately, everyone is talking about his theories. Now such a renowned scholar has many students, and these letters come from his best and brightest. Yes, but only one can be the best and the brightest. So your task, my friend, is to deliver the mail to Lambertine in Camp Tribone. Make sure to get it there promptly, as a good postwoman should, Kupo. I mentioned it in the last episode, but we met this guy while doing a little errand for Sid to get a corrupted crystal that would let the high wind, or whatever the airship was called, pierce the vortex barrier, blocking entry to Garuda's lair. Vortex barrier? Was that what it was called? I think so. And this is the guy that sends you on a wild goose chase to 3 different realms, or 3 different areas in the realm of Eorzea. All for 1 crystal. You do get it eventually, so I guess he does know what he's talking about. But yeah, they called him absent-minded. Why yes, I am Professor Lambertine. We've met, you say? Are you certain about that? Perhaps telling me why you've come will refresh my memory. Damn. Here I was talking for even more wasted time about how we remembered this guy, I shouldn't have even done him the honor of remembering him. Oh, he's got 3 letters. From one of his self-professed greatest pupils. I've been expecting these. I still can't quite remember you, but you have my thanks all the same. So all 3 will attend the symposium. Excellent. I expected their replies sooner, but better late than never. Pray excuse me, I've gotten ahead of myself. The symposium I speak of is a biannual event that I organize for my students. Does that mean every 2 years or twice every year? Bi-weekly, bi-monthly, semi-monthly? I don't know. We gather under one roof to share our research and critique others. Constructively, of course. Perchance you are familiar with aspect conversion. 'Tis a theory, but recently published. With the aid of an adventurer much like you, come to think of it. Oh, right. The fruits of our labor he turned into a book. Didn't even credit us in the footnotes, huh? That's okay. Komori probably wouldn't have been able to read it anyway. Anyway, the focus of this symposium shall be post-aspect conversion. Speaking of which, the hour is nearly upon us, though it seems my pupils have yet to arrive. Oh well, there are papers I can attend to while I wait. Since you have proven yourself an able courier, would you mind taking these flowers to the tavern for me? It is the venue for the symposium, and I fear it wants for decoration. Why does this guy hang out in Drybone? The only things here are a church with a big graveyard, which is... The graveyard is pretty much more prominent than the church, based on how much we use it in quests. And then people that get kidnapped for... I'm not sure where exactly they are, but... The Amalja. I think it's somewhere here that we fought Ifrit the first time. What else do they do here in Drybone? I guess they have symposiums. Speaking of bar, I never did have my pineapple juice from last time, did I? Komori, you deserve a pineapple juice. Or 3. Oh, there's no drinking animation while you're sitting? Or you can't even drink while you're sitting? That seems like an obvious one. People can't RP sitting down and eating/drinking? Seems like a massive oversight to me. You're still here? I must have finished more quickly than I realized, though to do things swiftly and well is only natural for a mind like mine. Where are my students? It is strange for them to be so late. And what of my big surprise? I present the original 4 volumes of my latest work, on the properties of aspect conversion. I intend to bequeath them to my students, as thanks for their assistance, once they arrive anyway. I guess he got stood up. Not surprising. Komori can barely stand being here herself. But it's her job. She's just here to laze around. They are awfully tardy. Perhaps I shall retire to my chambers for the time being. Well, I suppose you are free to go. But if you venture outside Camp Drybone, would you keep your eyes open for my pupils? I'm sure they're fine, but I worry all the same. The job's not done until the customer is satisfied. That's kind of the opposite of what a male person does. A male person just delivers the mail regardless of how the person feels about it. But I guess that's what makes an Eorzean post-Moogle or whatever different. Plus, Komoi just likes prying into other people's business, getting that hot gossip. You see neither hide nor hair of the students. Alright, we checked one exit/entrance. Our job is done. They just hate the guy. Have you seen any sign of my students outside the camp? Nah, they hate you. Nothing at all. My students must be busy with their research. So busy that they forgot to tell me. The symposium is hereby cancelled. My pupils will have to wait for their... Egads, the books. I left them in the tavern. This is also... Could you retrieve them for me? I require a moment. Okay. The books should still be on the table. I would go myself. It seems a grain of sand is lodged in my eye. You deal with that. We are the courier. We can pick up the books and deliver you the books. I can't believe nobody stole these useless books. Do mine eyes mislead me? 'Tis the adventurer who came in search of corrupted crystals. Well, at least someone remembers me. Of the countless taverns throughout the realm, that we would cross paths here. Tell me, Komoi, what brings you to this place? The symposium's been cancelled on account of our absence. Whatever for? It's to be held tomorrow, not today. Sienna here, not only from the main quest, but she was also involved in, I believe it was Sestasha Hard, where we were dealing with the zombified pirates or the Krakenified pirates. She just kind of looked at their corpses and put an end to that quest line, but I guess she's here too. She probably won't remember that we did that for her. Evidently, the professor mixed up the date, hence why he fears we have forgotten all about it. The professor can be ever so slightly scatterbrained, though a genius when it comes to ethereal studies. Haha, as if worse hasn't been said of us, huh? Haha, Sako. People would still think us lunatics had we not come to study under the professor. Indeed, whatever his failings, none of us would be where we are without him. I say we surprise him with a gift of our own, something to show our thanks for all he has done, and to commemorate his latest publication. Hear, hear, and I think we all know what would make the perfect gift. Corrupted crystals. Damn, we're gonna have to find more corrupted crystals. Just, all three of you tell me where they are all at once. I don't want to do this one at a time like last time. A fine idea if I do say so myself. Can we count on your help as well, Komoi? Yep, I had a feeling. I must return to Highbridge and prepare a containment vessel for the crystals. You may come and collect it anon. Right, that guy's stationed in Highbridge. Probably saw him a few times when we were doing like gladiator quests or something. Corrupted crystals are central to the professor's research. I dare say he will jump for joy when he gets them. As Professor Lambertine's greatest students, but there can only be one, we must lift his spirits. I most of all, as the greatest of us three. Okay, I didn't need to interject. She definitely was going to say it herself. I just had to read one line further in. Highbridge. But who is the professor's favorite? Are we ever going to get an answer? In this quest, probably, maybe not. And it's raining, it seems. Great. This isn't exactly rain, is it? It's showers. Slightly different from rain. "'Tis high time you arrived. I completed my preparations a long while ago. We see crystals marred by nary a single mark. Make your way to the center of the burning wall, where stands the finest of formations. Use a sledgehammer you can use to fracture a cluster once there. And here, a warded pot. Collect within it the shard of crystal, and deliver the lot, to Sienna. Simple, is it not? I trust you are aware that the nearest path to the burning wall begins at Burgundy Falls. Then I bid you marry my ink. Are you as absent-minded as the professor? Go and gather corrupted crystals from the center of the burning wall. Use the sledgehammer I have quite kindly provided to fracture a cluster, and place the crystals within this warded pot. Then take the lot to Sienna. Was anything unclear, or must I repeat myself again? You don't have to repeat the details, just the part where you say you have to repeat yourself, because that's where the flavor is. When he gets all huffy about it, it just adds a little bit of character. That's why I talk to them, again, after they give me the quest details. Just for that little bit of flavor. I could fly, would be faster. But since he said to take this route, we'll take this route. To our favorite secret black mage cave. Sorry, our Chocobo is wearing white mage right now. I'm not sure if that's offensive to you, Kazakcha. We can switch to black mage, just for you. Just for a little bit. At least for this episode. There, you happy? Here we are. And while we're here, I forgot while we did the cutscene with Alice after the Cores of Bahamut, but the Mark of Azema should be here, right? She is my patron deity, so I should at least know where it is. It's just kind of around, isn't it? Kinda hard to see while it's raining. Maybe lower? No. Could be down here. Guess not. In the cutscene with Alice after the Bahamut, the whole raid, it seemed like it was facing the large crystal, the rock. Pretty sure. We did some walking in that cutscene, so it's nothing to do with this. This is just some weird goblin web, I guess. No rock here. Was it actually in this area or like further outside? On a cliff over here? Yeah, this seems right. Maybe? How about over here? This edge? No? All this rain is making it harder for me to keep track of where I've been. By sight, that is. And keeping an eye on the mini-map. Where is that Mark of Azema? I would think it'd be on one of these little dead ends or something. Oh, here it is, right. It wasn't near the corrupted crystals at all, yeah. The cutscene with Alice started like right here or something, and then we walked over that way towards the crystals for whatever reason. But here it is, that mark. It'll only glow in September, I think. That's when Azima's month is, but there it is. Our patron deity. I hope you're proud of me, Azima. And also, her earring. Alright, back to the quest. Final prayer. I could have looked at the map and kind of guessed it was right there. Oops. So the last time we were here, it was an Earth aspected crystal, right? You fracture the corrupted cluster, place the crystals within the warded pot. And Earth wasn't the crystal that we needed. That is, back during the main quest, we didn't need it back then. I'm pretty sure they should be okay with any crystal for this little surprise of theirs. Taking the slightly scenic route, flying low. Not that scenic when rain is obscuring half your vision. At least this cutscene will be indoors, I think, so the rain won't interfere with that. I anticipated your success, my friend, but you were much quicker than I had estimated. Even with all the detours, really? Welcome back. Did the Mirror Knights give you any trouble? They know not to mess with a level 56 Black Mage, apparently. What? You carried that entire pot? Jeez, Komori. You're built different. Ah, an exquisite pot full of corrupted crystals if ever I saw one. Well, now that everything seems in order, I shall summon the professor for his surprise. Ahem. What surprise, pray tell? If it was for the symposium, I'm afraid you're too late. Professor Lambertaint. And you, postwoman, did you ever intend to return with what I asked? Why I ought to... Hold on a moment, Professor. You forgot that the symposium starts tomorrow. We know you can be a bit absent-minded, but above all else, we beg you remember. No student ever skips a symposium. Voila! Corrupted crystals to celebrate your latest publication, and to express our gratitude on your constant support. So that's why what you three have been doing. I hardly know whether to laugh or cry. It just so happens I've prepared something for each of you as well. On the properties of aspect conversion. Would not exist were it not for you all, and so I thought to divide the volumes between the four of us, that the set would be complete whenever we meet. Your questions, your contributions, your very presence drives me onwards, as quickly as a corrupted crystal can change aspects. It matters not where our research takes us, so long as we are of one mind and one purpose. Why don't we meet 4 times a year instead of 2? Okay, so biannual means 2 times a year, got it. It would be a pleasure to hear your papers more often, and to present mine own, of course. I must say I'm quite eager to begin experimenting with these crystals. You didn't go to too much trouble obtaining them, did you? Not at all. Komori saw to the dangerous tasks. For the second time, come to think of it. Didn't her efforts serve as an inspiration for your research before? You weren't supposed to say that, Sienna. How is he going to feel about this now? Komori? Ah, I knew I had seen you before. Well, no longer shall your contributions go unrecognized. I, Professor Lambertaint, hereby name thee an honorary pupil. Now, my friends, to work. The unsolved mysteries of Aether are waiting to be unraveled. Me, an honorary pupil. I guess that makes us Lambertaint's best and brightest pupil. We finally have the answer. And will soon to be the best and brightest mail courier, post-Moogle, Lalafell, all of that. Actually, before we go, he should be right over here, right? He's the type of NPC that never moves, so maybe get a little bit of follow-up from him. An honorary pupil, you say? I don't remember having any of those. I jest. Okay. Yeah, I was about to lose my patience. Not really, but I would have liked it either way, whether he remembered or not. It just would have been so immediate, right after the quest. But he remembers us. Who could forget you, Komori? In fact, I have a lesson just for you on my latest theory. What? Oh, well, if you're busy, I suppose it can wait. That's the flavor I'm looking for. Sometimes you get the jackpot. Two more. Well, two more and then the last one, I guess. Oh, it's Wymond, right. Yes, I remember. When I was looking up prerequisites for these post-Moogle quests, because there was one that required, like, interacting with some researcher, I forgot her name already, over here in the Central Shroud, around this area. You had to do a lot of quests for her to unlock the quest here. I wanted to make sure I had all the prerequisites done before continuing the Moogle quest, and it was at that time I found out you needed to do something for Wymond, which was the start of the Hildebrand quests, to unlock this quest. That's why I put all of the Moogle quests on hold, so that I could finish all of Hildebrand, and why I came back to it at a later time and am finishing it now. Do I want to do that next? I don't know who this is. I know who Wymond is, so the next episode is going to be the finale of the Moogle questline, right? So I say we do Wymond now, so that we have some substance in this episode, as in, we don't just waste the remainder of this episode on a guy I can't remember. I mean, he could be very interesting and fun, for sure, but I was able to recognize Lambertaint, and that was fun enough, but I don't think that's exactly top billing, not exactly like Wymond, right? Plus we get a carnation. This episode will be Wymond and Professor Lambertaint. Dear me, a fine mess this is. A fine mess indeed, Kupo. Kupo-po? I didn't notice you there. I was too preoccupied with living a post-Moogle's worst nightmare. I have a letter with an unreadable address. All I can make out are the words Mond and Ulda. The rest is illegible squiggles. Who could it be? Clymond? No, maybe Bymond? Or Frymond? Oh, of course. Wyman. Yes, Wyman the Sultanate's information monger. Not a single doubt about it, my assistant. Wyman Jinaldar is our recipient. Now take this letter to him. I believe he can be found on Emerald Avenue most days. I'll rest easy knowing it's in your experienced hands, Kupo. More like every day. He's always standing in that one spot. And it's a good thing too. So many quests lead to Wyman. If he wasn't in that spot, all of those quests would grind to a halt. Nobody would be able to do anything. He's like the linchpin of all dialogue in side quests. Also the first guy to give you your quest in Ul'dah if you start out here. You remember us, right? Of course you do. If it ain't my venturing friend, where's it postwoman today? Can't say I was expecting the mail though. Ah, he's already in the know that we're a postwoman. It's not just the uniform that he caught on to. I'm sure he heard some rumors about the Warrior of Light suddenly taking a vacation and becoming a postwoman. Raymond, we have your daughter. Demands behind shack at Copperbell, or bay or she dies. The purple haze. Tis a ransom note. Well, why'd you bring me this? I ain't Raymond, you fool. And I can't very well look the other way, can I? Well, Komori cannot read. Very well, that is. Maybe she could read the Mond part, but not the Ray. Of course, it'd have to be the goddamn purple haze. Cruel sense of humor, Fate Scott. Making me remember what I've worked to forget. They're a gang of crooks who'd do in a newborn babe for the right price. Thought they all got thrown in the clink before the calamity. If they're at large again, then we've got to stop them. Aye, my home plus your blunder makes it we. So I'll thank you to get their demands from Copperbell. What about Raymond? You do know who Raymond is, right? You know everyone. Up to us to stop the purple haze, Komori. So run and find their ransom demands. Not to be behind some shack near Copperbell Mines. Just outside Ul'dah. We could walk, but I guess we'll teleport. Last time we were here, I guess it would have been Copperbell Mines hard mode. Not all that long ago. I remember killing bombs here for some... Was it a Black Mage mission or the main quest? Guess it doesn't matter. A shack, like this one. Right here. I'm glad no one stole it. And of course we have to deliver it to Wymond so he can read it for us. We could read it, but we'd probably make another mistake. Nice timing. I just got back myself from delivering the bad tidings to Raymond and his wife. I knew it. I knew you knew everyone. Good folk hit by bad fortune, those two. Had to stop them from calling in the brass blades, though. That only forced the Haze's hand and get the girl killed. Took a lot of promises, but they trusted her life to me. That's how it stands on my end. You got the ransom demands? A lengthy list instructing Raymond what the purple haze require if he is to see his daughter again. In one piece. The haze are demanding the deed to Raymond's land, or the ceruleum neath it more like. Secure the mineral rights and live as kings. Clever. Too clever. I've got a sneaking suspicion the gang's acting as a brawn to some corrupt merchant, but they'll succeed over my dead body. Before I get you involved, Komoy, there's something you want to know. I used to be part of the Purple Haze. Oh goody, we're getting Wyman lore. I do so love getting lore on Wyman. In fact, I guess this is the only time we got lore on Wyman. We've only ever used Wyman, we've never learned about Wyman. Everybody always asks Wyman questions, but they never ask questions about Wyman. I was one of the bastards. Blackmail, extortion, confidence tricks. If it was a far cry from lawful, I'd a hand in it. Those were black days, and I'd still be lost in the dark, if not long dead. Had it not been for her, a flower girl named Myrtha, who used to stand at this very spot. Wow. And so you keep a vigil for her? What a backstory, for an NPC that stands in one spot. Buying one of her roses turned into my daily routine, just to hear her say, "Thank you kindly, Mr. Wyman." Not once did she get my name right, but seeing that innocent smile made me see goodness in the realm. You're saying, it's not pronounced Wymond? Is it pronounced Wymond? Have I been pronouncing it wrong this whole time? No. She probably pronounced it Wymoond, and the correct pronunciation is Wymond, as I have been saying. I'm just going to assume. But then, the haze silences this one bloke. He was a good, upstanding type, who'd informed on the gang. Brave man's sacrifice should have made for a happy ending, but that informer was Myrtha's brother. And she just vanished. Never saw her smiling face again after that day. Not once. Ain't easy to talk about, even after all these years. Any road. It was the push I needed to leave the criminal life. I sang like a canary to the most famous detective I could find. Hildebrand. But he took me for a dead man. Went around Ul'dah telling anyone who'd listen I was a righteous monger of information. Soon enough, all the haze were behind bars. I'd gotten my new chapter, but had nothing else to my name, so I stepped into the murdered bloke's life and rode the rumors to where I am today. Come to think on it, though, where in the hells are that Hildy and Nashu? Even that prize pair should have gotten wind of this kidnapping. Sorry. Komori and I were both distracted. I only picked up half of what you were saying. So that's why you needed to do that whole prerequisite of at least the first quest from Hildebrand so that you could get that cameo, and I guess this is chronologically after that. But I guess chronologically speaking, Hildebrand should be riding a sword of light or something, rocketing off into the sky towards his next big adventure. But I guess he just showed up here. Maybe he got tired of riding around in the air and needed a short break down on the ground, met up with Nashu, and now he's ready to fly back onto the sword into the sky towards the next big mystery, which, not really a spoiler, is over in Heaven's Ward. He's rocketing off in that direction. Of course, this whole quest, the Moogle quest, would have been chronologically before the very last Hildebrand quest, so he would have been around at the time for the cameo. It's neither here nor there. Well, my point is that I ain't standing by while scum threatens a girl's life. Can I count on your help saving her, Komori? Good. Because it just so happens I've got a scheme that needs 2 bodies. The way I see it, the haze will disperse if we snuff out the mastermind, but this merchant's too smart to be caught within the maw of the gang. So we'll just need a trap so large that he can't see it coming. The market itself. First, we have to start a few rumors, and make them seem true. Make your way to Cesaroga at the... Make your way to Cesaroga at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange, and get his attention with this banknote. Tell him you're working for a wealthy fellow who wants to buy as much ceruleum as he can with the gil promised on that paper. Then actually buy a boatload of the fuel from whomever Cesaroga introduces. You mark my words, Komoy. Those villains are going to rue, stumbling back into my life. Alright, we got Wyman's backstory. What about this guy? Wyman's little friend who's always sitting right next to him. Doesn't have a name, but surely they know each other, right? Guess we'll never learn. Right. No chocobos, even on the main street. I always forget. I always instinctively reach for a chocobo whenever I have to move fast. I will say, it will be a little bit of a relief when the Moogle quests wrap up, because I always tend to run my voice dry, sore even, with all the talking that's involved. I guess that's Final Fantasy in general, but the Moogle quests more than anything else. Ah, an adventurer? What do you want? A purveyor of ceruleum, you say? An expensive request. Do you have the funds to back it? I have the paper. My dear lady, how came you by such great riches? Yeah, talk about it. Make sure everyone knows. Your employer's money, eh? Well, allow me to assure you that you are speaking with the right person. Sintgot, the fellow over yonder, will be happy to provide all the ceruleum you desire, and let us not forget to thank the finder. Your sudden interest, however, gives credence to today's rumors that a certain engineer's groundbreaking invention will send the demand for ceruleum, soaring. Yes, 'tis perhaps time that I purchase ceruleum futures myself. What I could do for Mistress Momodi was... but I have said too much. Everyone's after Mistress Momodi, even him. That was even the topic of a previous Moogle quest, one of the early ones. Welcome, welcome. What might a discerning... ceruleum, of course. Are you interested in current stocks or futures? And what do you have to spend? This green paper. God speak good. In all my days, no one has ever placed so large an order. It is your money, yes? If you're tied up in something shady, there can be no deal. What? Do I look shady to you? I see. Well, if this employer of yours is legitimate, I will be happy to assist you. And let me say, he has impeccable timing. What do I mean? Why, just that the market has been full of rumors today about Garland Ironworks. The word is that those engineers found a way to craft airships for a fraction of the cost. Vessels will soon fill the skies, and the price of ceruleum will soar. If this is true, ceruleum will become the most desirable of commodities, and with the amount he's willing to spend, I dare say your employer knows a thing or two we don't. But this is not the time for talk. Here is your ceruleum futures contract. I'll make good on it, or my name isn't Sintgot. Is Wyman actually going to pay for this, or is he just like pretending to? I guess we're going to find out. That whole bit about airships becoming more common, I think at the beginning of A Realm Reborn, airships were kind of treated as a new thing, something that not a lot of people use, but as you get later on into the entirety of Final Fantasy XIV, airships, like they said, become pretty commonplace. They're not really a surprise to anyone. Maybe this is actually tying into that. Heard Cesaroga introduce you to Sintgot. Do you have a futures contract to show for your dealings with him? Well, you set the price of ceruleum soaring high as an airship. It was me who started those rumors. But they look real now that you've placed that order. You started the rumors? Before we even walked over there? He's good. I guess it's not necessarily true then, that the airships are becoming more common, but they do become more common in the story. Hold on to that futures contract for now. 'Tis the very bait we need to lure the mastermind into the open. No doubt he's heard how you swept into the markets. That's like to vex him. As is the news, he's gotten himself a rival businessman with a real adept underling. And how do you imagine he'd feel if said underling were to meet with the Haze secretly? With ceruleum prices high as they are, he'd feel betrayed for God's damn sure. Aye, Komori, it's a date with a kidnapper at the Coffer and Coffin for you. You'll have to find a man of the Haze, of course, but just keep your eyes out. Get his attention with a pint, then show him the futures contract, and let it slip your employer's looking for rich land. His greed'll do the rest. I like it, with Wyman pulling the strings and us being the puppet. It's a pretty fun relationship. Plan calls for you to move yourself to the Coffer and Coffin venture to meet a man of the Purple Haze. When you find one, put a little liquor in him, then give him a peek at the futures contract and let it slip your employer searching for rich land. Nothing new, no flavor. Was that guy off killing something? These guys do some work sometimes. Okay, I guess they don't do any work. He's like stuck in an eternal loop, attacking the Surfeit Cloud, running back to his post, and then the Surfeit Cloud aggroes on him. But the thing about mobs is, if they get too far from their own post, they become invulnerable, and then return to their post. But it just so happens to be within range of this guy. Has this always been happening since like 2.0 released? This one guy attacking this cloud indefinitely? What a hell. I guess it might be randomized based on the exact position of the Surfeit Cloud. Or no, probably some adventurer kited it over to this guy and got him caught in this loop. Well, we'll free him. There. You're okay now. At least until another sprout comes along and puts you in the exact same loop. Anyway, we had a job to do. And that job is triple triad. No, not really. Maybe later. Haze-eyed, or hazy-eyed. What? A drink? Fine. Ain't nothing in the realm for free, though. What do you want? Look at my paper. You jealous? So it's your master what struck it rich with a ceruleum craze. Huh. Suppose it's him I ought to thank for this grog, eh? Mine his own ceruleum? I'll wager he is, the greedy bugger. Maybe you've got an itch I can scratch. I'll be coming into the deed to a huge plot of land shortly. Ceruleum-rich land. Its yield. Take what you're imagining and add 2 zeros. 2. Might be land ain't quite me cup of tea. Might be as I'm willing to sell it. For the right offer, that is. Just a little something to think about. But I'm drowning me troubles here most days if you fancy another chat. The mead here don't half go down well. When you've a mind to talk business, come back and join me for a pint. If we come back, it'll be for Triple Triad. Oh, fancy horse. And all we have is this little chocobo. While you were gone, the price of ceruleum hit its peak. I'll need the contract back now. It'll fetch a good price, and give me the funds to finish things with the bag. Okay, so he is actually making money off of this. Pretty sly. We're saving a girl's life, but he can make money on the side, right? I like Wymond. Appreciate it. Aye, and you meet him with that thug. Our mastermind's sure to be feeling betrayed. Or was his underling talking to my own in the coffer and coffin? After he went through the trouble of kidnapping Raymond's daughter, false friends trying to turn a profit on their own ain't like to sit well with him. And I've given him a little push with a certain letter as well. Reckon he'll be leaving to question the haze round about now. The lot of 'em are making for Cutter's Cry, and straight into the trap you've worked to bait. Leave the springing of it to me. Yeah, ain't none of them leaving those caves unscathed. What's it I means to do? Can't spoil the surprise yet, but don't worry unduly. Wymond's just going to play a trick. Something from the bad old days. You scare me, Wymond. I like it. Meet me up north of Cutter's Cry, Komoy. Then we can watch the haze's dreams go up in smoke. He's got poetry too. Haze go up in smoke. It's like a pun. This guy... No, not this guy. This guy. Yeah. Okay. He doesn't get into trouble on his own. It was definitely caused by some hapless adventurer. Cutter's Cry. That was like a dungeon we did, right? I wonder if they added duty support to it. Well, shouldn't get too close to the hostage situation here. Just to check real quick while we're in the area. This does have duty support, right? Yeah, that's what this icon means. Don't know if they... Oh no, never mind. I guess they're going to add it later. I think even in the live letter they might have said it would be added in the next patch, 7.2. Or was that 6.2? No, I think it was 7.2. The stage is set, Komoy, and we're in for a good show. The haze said to put the deed over there. I obliged, with a forgery. Our mastermind's here too. I'm hoping my deed fools them, so they'll let the girl go. Easy, lass. You're safe now. Just keep close to that kindly adventurer, eh? Whoa. Well, looks to be drama unfolding twixt our villains. Wouldn't want to be in that dog's boots. Our mastermind's doubtless given the bloke a right proper grillin' about his relationship with you. But at the end of the day, the merchant needs the haze. To keep him sweet, he'll offer a bigger share of the spoils. And they'll accept it, no doubt, I don't doubt. No sense in them sliding with some venturer they barely know over the merchant's coin. Or sidin', not slidin'. So they'll seal the deal with the haze's solemn custom, passing a pipe while speaking a crook's vow. That sworn insomnus' glow holds true in hell's fire. Huh. As if a puff or two bound them to anything. But I will say, that bit of somnus takes the edge off. But what if some bloke went in, hid military-grade fire sand nearby? Damn, Wymond, you're scary. The moment they light their pipe, 100 million gills worth of the stuff will explode. That's what I sold the futures contract for. Explosives. That can blow a settlement sky high. Okay. You could have gave me 100 million gil to explode them for you, but this is fine too. I guess we're on vacation, so we shouldn't be working, and in fact, this is one of the rare delivery Moogle quests that we're not actually tasked with doing the work, like killing people while off duty. We're actually leaving it all to Wymond. You're great, Wymond. At least, that's what the fellow who sold it... Now, hold on a moment. That whole sky high bit might not have been a figure of speech. Well, damn. 7 hells. I hope something survived that. Well, little one. The child, not Komori. I reckon you've had enough excitement to last a lifetime. Go and find the brass plates. They'll see you safely to your parents. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Good child, that. Komori, make sure she meets her family at Arsenes Ossuary. They have to thank you for all you've done. I'd be grateful if you check in on Raymond's wife while you're there. She's young and comely, but the worry made her look weary as a crone. Leave it to Wyman to solve a problem with rumors and dealings. Didn't have to really raise a weapon at all. Just had to exchange some gil. Over here. Oh. I didn't realize Arsenes Ossuary was the Thaumaturgist Guild. I just call it the Thaumaturgist Guild. Even the map calls it that. Thanks again, Venture. Are you the woman who rescued my daughter? Thank you 1,000 times, thank you. Truly words cannot express how relieved I am to have her back. Well, this time we didn't really do anything, thankfully. Oh, are you Wyman's friend? Then I owe you a great debt. I was beside myself with worry when he came, but no longer. My daughter is safe. As she tells it seems we need fear the gang. No. We need fear the gang or that awful merchant no more. You have my gratitude as well. In truth I wavered. Enlist the brass blades to bring our daughter home by force, or leave it to Wymond to save her with cunning. But my wife felt he could be trusted, and full glad am I that she convinced me to do so as well. We wish to thank Wymond too. Could you take this to him on Emerald Avenue? 'Tis a token, really, but I hope it shows our appreciation. Once again, thank you for returning our daughter to us. And a single red rose. Hey, wait a second. What was that girl's name? This quest was pretty long. Lot of talking. Wyman's backstory. Myrtha. Okay. Was wondering if that, oh, wrong guy. If that lady might have been Myrtha, but probably not. She pronounced his name right, I think. Yeah, she did. Playing postwoman again? Wait. Before you hand it over, are you dead certain it's for me, and if it is, that it ain't another ransom note? That's fair. Yeah, a rose. Just like what I used to buy from Myrtha. Ever since she vanished, time stood still for me. I've been waiting for her for so long. What used to be her spots turned into mine. Precious blossom this. Makes the good memories come flooding back. Who's it from, by the way? The wife. Raymond's wife, eh? Well, look at that. There's even a card. Thank you kindly, Mr. Wymond. You're Myrtha. I guess she learned how to pronounce it correctly after all this time. The Seven Hells. It was her all along. She grew up quick. I'm glad she's happy and has a good husband. Thank you, Komoy. I think time will start moving for me again. Thank you kindly, Mr. Wymond. Why, Mooned. She still doesn't get my name right. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Some of them are funny, some of them are depressing. Some of them are just fun backstory for people. And this one was my favorite of that kind. Just some fun backstory, without being too comedic or too serious. A bit of Wymond. I always regretted never saying goodbye to Myrtha. Ain't many who find them they lost. And I'm lucky to have learned she's alive. So I've decided to share my good fortune by giving the money left over from our cerulean venture to the refugee children. Maybe their smiles will turn some bad folk good, eh? Wymond is like the best guy in Ul'dah, and I guess the best woman would be Momodi. Well, I guess there's also... You could also argue that... What's her name? I shouldn't forget, she's a major character. Nanamo and Raoban are pretty high up there as well, but they're kind of embroiled in politics, so it's kind of hard to be good when you're dealing with the monitress. But then there's Wymond and Momodi. And he used to be a criminal. I wonder if Momodi used to be a criminal. I could see it. Probably not. We already got her backstory. Alright, 2 more quests, we suppose, Moogle. Where haven't I taken a break yet? Maybe over here? It's just kind of the same as what I did before. We did that rock. I think we did all the rocks around the perimeter. Maybe. Over here, yeah. Megumi Yuzuki. Don't mind if we share your rock for a moment. Komoy's on the cusp of becoming a Deputy Post-Moogle Master General or whatever. In the next episode, we'll become level 25 Courier and see what that nets us as a reward. Now would be a good time to take a break.